Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And I'm Carter Glasscock.
And today we're joined once again here at Disgraceland Studios by one of our all-time faves. He is the Grand Poobah of comedy in English in Santa Monica twice weekly. It's our buddy,
Michael Magid.
Welcome back to the show, Michael. Good to see you, bud.
This is awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. First off, Rivers, I just want to let you know things have changed a lot since last time I was here. I see that you now have an iPhone that has
That's right.
the physical ability to generate images.
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're rolling tape, as they say in the industry.
So if I'm waving, people can now see that.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially, yes.
Become
If
one of our
they've-
viral posts.
If they've paid for our Patreon exclusive,
Yeah.
they could be watching the full uncut episode.
Or if there's something that happens in under a minute that's controversial and might end up on Instagram.
But if they pay that simple Patreon fee, we'll see which one of us isn't wearing a shirt.
That's right. Oh, I wish it was me.
Take it off, bro.
Go back to my natural state.
I mean, at least you can unbutton several buttons.
No,
we're all friends
no,
here.
we're adults. We gotta present. We gotta present.
Okay.
Yeah.
This camera's ruined everything.
I know.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Rivers isn't willing to be himself
I know.
anymore.
We used to hang dong in here. What happened to us?
Throughout the pandemic, we were doing this straight bucket
What
the entire
happened
time.
to us?
We slept in the same room naked, too. For months.
Oh yeah.
Giving each other COVID.
Oh, it was great.
Protocol.
Did you guys
at that
all
point.
live in this little room right here? Is that how it worked?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Carter lived downstairs. I lived here, and then Sam was across the hall. So we saw a lot. Of
this
one
was
We had
another.
a roommate that worked out right in front of my door. So
Oh yes, that's
I couldn't
right.
really leave my closet.
With like a TRX like rope or something?
No, just shout out. I mean, it's friend of the show. It's Luke Jensen, one of my best friends in the world.
I can't blame him. Before this whole story, just because I know of the layout of these apartments, because of mine also, I don't fully blame him. Okay, tell the story.
No, well, it was just he's a gym guy. He goes to the gym every single day, and then March 2020 happens, and what else is he going to do? But it's a small apartment, so we'd be like watching a movie, and then 3 feet away, just like
Specifically, no, his room is so he couldn't fucking get on the ground and do a push-up
That's
in
important.
his room.
Yes.
Like that's how small the bedroom is. People don't
That's
understand
true.
that. So.
Yeah. He had the smallest bedroom. There was no room to do it.
He had no
otherwise.
fucking choice.
Yeah.
So I mean, Carter, I wouldn't want that either. But also,
I think he saw that
you were jealous of his gains.
Well, I think he saw like what my body was going to turn into.
Yeah,
And he was like, he doesn't need it like I need it.
and Luke's jacked.
Yes, Luke is fucking jacked. Yeah, absolutely.
And so I would.
And if for being sequestered into my a puke green closet for 3 months, I was like, I'm glad that he got rippled.
Now, I'm guessing because the gyms were closed, is that he had to look around the apartment for things to utilize as weight.
No,
so he
he
was like picking up the TV and
My laptop.
Yeah. No, he had like his own
He
bells.
was throwing
and-
my shoes through the
Weights.
window and stuff.
Yeah, he had his own stuff.
I was just picturing like World's Strongest Man. You know how like they take like logs or
Yeah. He's just
giant barrels.
yeah. He's outside pulling a 18-wheeler down the street or something.
Yeah.
My roommate just started working out in the living room.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it hasn't been enough.
Like COVID style, like he can go outside.
I mean, I mean, it's not enough to where I.
It doesn't bother you, though. It
No,
doesn't- okay.
Why would it? It's not like. I mean, he's not doing it while I'm trying to do something, and I guess I haven't even really ever been out there when he's doing it. So why would I give a fuck? It's never been a problem for me.
So basically, he's telling you he's working out.
No, well, this is where I'm confused because today I'm in my room. I think I hear working out. I'm like, I don't know. I hear like a like at
He's
one
jacking
point
off in the living room
Yeah.
for sure.
and so, but then I come out and he's not out there anymore, and I was like, well, whatever. And I came back, or I went in the kitchen, and then he comes downstairs. Fully clothed, just pouring sweat like crazy. And he has a backpack on like he's about to go somewhere.
Ugh. You're not supposed to do that. You got to shower
Yeah.
first.
He'd be on some crazy shit, I guess. I don't know if he actually left the house, but it sure seemed like he was about to.
Some people want it more.
Oh, no. He's probably just got the backpacks just full of weights or something.
I mean, he might be going
Pudding.
to work out more. I wouldn't be shocked if.
Does he run hills like with that backpack, like
I don't know.
80s montage style? Like,
I don't know if he runs hills, but he definitely he's in shape. He's in fucking shape. I got 3 roommates, and out of the 4 of us, 2 of us are fat schlubs, and 2 of us take care of themselves pretty well.
I was going to say, one of them is a trained combat athlete and the Goods from the Woods world heavyweight champion. So, yeah, takes real good care of himself.
And
AJ.
Yeah, AJ. Yeah, AJ. Shout out.
No, I
comedian
shouldn't have
AJ.
said fat schlubs. We're just schlubs.
Well,
me
speaking
and
of AJ, I don't want to like completely, go on a tangent right here. Did anybody here watch the Dirty Pop documentary?
Oh, is
No.
that? No, I haven't yet.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Is that just more Lou Pearlman stuff?
Yeah, it's more Lou Pearlman.
I've seen the other one.
God,
This is like when they made
what a clear pederast, like from a million miles away.
Not just better ass, like clear villain. If you know how he made his money.
It was like insurance fraud, right?
Well, there was that,
Oh.
but also just a sentence that can't be uttered without equaling villain, which is he was a blimp millionaire.
Damn.
What does that even mean?
It means he sold advertising on blimps and was in the blimp world.
He was in the blimp business.
Yes, literally. And I think he got into the boy band business because New Kids on the Block rented a blimp to advertise their new album. And he's like, oh, there's got to be money in the boy bands.
When you said
Bunch of doe-eyed kids with no direction.
Yeah.
when you said blimp millionaire, I immediately thought of an old man in like a leather cap, strapped down with a monocle on, like
It's-
piloting a blimp.
Yeah, Mr.
That's-
Monopoly piloting
yeah.
a blimp. Yeah.
That's not out of the realm of possibilities for Lou Pearlman.
What blew my mind though is that when I was watching the documentary, because I didn't know that much about it, is that like in the early 2000s in Florida, there was literally this dude at this huge mansion who had like 100 young boys just walking around his mansion.
Oh, yeah.
Living there, hanging out.
Yep.
And nobody questioned that.
And their parents stopping by regularly to be like, how's it going, kid? Oh, this is normal.
It's like the first influencer house.
Yeah. What's crazy is it's now
One drug-addled adult and a bunch of innocent children.
Lou Pearlman ahead of his time.
Yeah, ahead of his
God.
time. An innovator in so many ways.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because now, that same kind of ideology, philosophy, whatever, to show business is hyper extended into Korea with K-pop. They essentially
Really?
just like take kids away from their parents and put them through pop star training camp. I have a friend whose coworker, I guess her sister was in the mall. She's American. And not only that, I believe she's from Taiwan. She's not even Korean, but was walking through a mall when she was 12 or 13. And some guy was like, you want to be a star? And now she's in some massive K-pop group and has bajillions of Instagram followers.
Wow.
But was essentially just, with full parent permission, taken to Korea and run through K-pop training camp.
The
So-
difference of that little
Nice.
sign-up sheet to play at the mall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the craziest thing about that is that, like, clearly everybody in the music industry had to have known what was going on there.
Yeah.
And they all signed off on it because, like, he had, like, a reality show in the early 2000s called Making
Making the Bands,
Yeah.
O-Town.
Man,
Oh,
yeah,
O-Town.
okay.
Oh, that's where O-Town came from. And then, but that was the thing is then he was exposed as a creep. And so they passed on Making the Band to P. Diddy.
Also, those people,
okay.
those people in the
So, that was cool. They made it right.
So that was a legacy decision,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
Call that
Exactly.
a lateral move.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah.
those people in the music industry that signed off on it, though, like they didn't. I'm sure they gave less of a fuck about them than Lou Pearlman did. Like, how many of them do you think will die before the end of this taping?
I mean, hey, money talks.
Oh my God, P.
Yeah,
Diddy
it's
was
all
literal-
about money.
P. Diddy was literally the equivalent of Lou Pearlman in a different demographic.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's one of those jokes. It took 25 years to be funny, but boy, now you're like, oh boy, that was a lateral fucking move. Jesus, from Lou Pearlman to P. Diddy.
Is he
My
still?
God.
Is he still like trying to
large?
not get? Yeah, he's at large because like doesn't want to get extradited.
So far, I think he's. I don't think he flew.
Where's he? Venezuela?
Yeah, I mean, hey, who knows? No, I think he tried to go overseas and then didn't. So he's still around, but it's one of those things like when the federal government kicks your fucking doors down, you're probably not long for freedom.
Yeah.
How many fugitives? How many white collar fugitives do you think live in the Cayman Islands?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like
I
the
mean,
entire population of the Cayman Islands?
yeah, well, a lot of their money lives there at least. That's where you go to hide the money.
It would be close to it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of horrifying people,
Carter's here.
Yeah. No. What do we got for our ungodly concoctions,
We
Sam?
got the G Fuel, the Hack and Slash Friday the 13th edition.
Hell yeah.
Coming straight from, where do you think? Hot Topic.
Oh, from Hot
Ooh-wee.
Topic.
Purchased at Hot Topic.
Whoa. What brought you to Hot Topic?
I was just doing a little shopping. What do you fucking think
Sure.
brought me to Hot
I was
Topic?
getting my.
Are you hanging out with 16-year-old goth kids? Like,
I mean, that's the demographic of Hot Topic still, after being in there. So I wasn't hanging out, but we were sharing space for sure.
It's like you're finishing your second slice at Sbarro's. You're like, I need a Green Day T-shirt.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't realize it as much as a kid, but everything in there is branded. They don't even sell like funny shirts anymore.
What?
Yeah, it's all
It's all just like, hey, Nirvana, Led Zeppelin, fucking Lil Yachty,
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. It's all those same shirts, but then they include like Lil Baby and just stuff like that.
I do want a shirt that just says, "Hey, Nirvana."
Hey, Nirvana.
That's like almost so Gen X perfect for a
Dude,
slogan.
they had a belt buckle, I think, that it was a weed leaf and said, no, it wasn't there, somewhere else. It had a belt buckle that just had a weed leaf on it and it said Nirvana.
What?
Over it. Because it's not a fucking, they didn't trademark
yeah,
the whole
obviously.
word
Yeah.
for everything.
I have not looked into this, but I'm sure that like Hot Topic is like a subsidiary of the Disney Corp or something.
It has
like
to
that.
be.
Like,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
has to be.
I love taking like counterculture and like exploiting it to like a
Oh, yeah.
complete like capitalist
For
aspect.
that
It's like-
one member of the family who's
But
not
yeah.
having too much fun at Disney.
But
World.
now it's full of like toys and plushies. They sell Nintendo
T-shirts of Jimi Hendrix vaping.
Yeah, they sell fucking Nintendo Switch cases. Dude,
Oh,
they
yeah,
sell
yeah.
cool ones too. I was at there like, damn, I should have bought my Nintendo Switch case here.
Oh,
Straight
yeah.
up.
Does anybody consider Nirvana a weed band?
No.
No.
I think they're like kind of the
They're like a
opposite.
classic rock
It's-
band
it's
now.
just,
That's how fucking old we are.
But like even in their prime, it's not like people are like relaxing to Nirvana.
That's
No,
what
they're
you
punk.
gotta love
Yeah.
about
Alternative rock, but you know.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta love about fake merch, though.
That's true.
They'll
That's
go
true.
for anything. Just
Yeah.
do you love weed and Nirvana? I got the product for you.
Yeah.
Anyways, they don't even have like as many clothes as they used to have. They
Yeah.
have many more plushies than they used
I was
to
gonna say,
have.
is it still as like dick sock heavy? Like, is there like still a lot of like? There's that Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah, yeah.
complaining.
What do you
complaining.
mean dick sock?
They always had like like dildos and shit.
No,
It's
that-
Spencer's
yeah, they
Gifts.
don't have that at Hot Topic.
Red Hot Chili Peppers weed dick socks.
they still have some like leather studded shit, but
Uh-huh.
it's everything. Kids love anime now.
Right, yeah,
Everything's a YouTube cartoon T-shirt or an anime shirt or something like that.
That is a pretty cool thing about kids. Like, it was not as popular when I was a kid.
No,
I also love the
everything. The graphic design is so much cooler than
Yeah.
anything when we were younger. It's unfortunate that it's so wasted on Friday the 13th. G Fuel.
Yeah, this by the way has killer focus.
Dear
It says.
God.
Also, they had a Naruto one. They had
That seems very millennial
Yeah.
coded, though.
Yeah.
They had a Five Nights at Freddy everything. You
Ooh,
can buy a
yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy everything. Hot Topic, including drink, notebook, backpack, plushies, multiple books, stickers, fucking everything, dude. Phone chargers.
Sam,
Yeah.
you know more about Hot Topic, I think, than the people that work at Hot Topic.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, they weren't paying attention to shit. They
Yeah.
still are
With that
good on
astronomical turnover
You know,
rate.
you know what that reminds me of is like I went into a GNC once and like the guy behind the counter, like I was asking him questions and like I had actually researched this stuff prior and like he was just making stuff up and I was
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I'm like, oh okay, none of these people actually know what they're talking about.
So I was about to say, Carter works at a wine bar. Do you want to speak on that?
Brother, that's all I do.
And you know what? You know who owns G Fuel? GNC.
Is that-
I found that. I believe.
Wow.
I did a tiny bit of research. I could be wrong.
I
the
just
General Nutrition Center's own G Fuel.
G Fuel.
Well,
makes
they're
sense.
the number one place to buy stupid fucking energy drinks now.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
GNC. Yeah,
Or a vitamin shop or any
that's-
of the equivalent brands.
Vitamin Shop hadn't been changing it up recently, so I need to go back to a GNC to get
Yeah,
some
go to
get some new
GNC.
shit.
or a Hot Topic.
Or Hot Topic. Well, that's the thing. So this is part of a line, and I wanted to say shout out to our friend Casey listening in Louisiana because back in April, Casey attempted to send me the Freddy Krueger G Fuel, and the Freddy Krueger G Fuel is called Dream Demon. Which, if you're trying to stay awake, calling your thing the Dream Demon is
what's it called again?
Dream Demon. There we go.
Okay, Carter, you hit one.
Dream Demon.
That's better.
Oh yeah.
What do we got, Mike?
Dream Demon.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's a good take on it.
Sam.
Dream Demon. High pitch was the way to go.
I like how that had a little bit of like.
Yeah, it's like a little Gollum-y. It's cool.
That's definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Can we hit these motherfuckers up about getting a job?
Man, that's what I thought this whole thing. I post every episode of the show on voices.com. Like,
Is that the move?
that's like that's the move, dude. I'm telling you.
Is that a
Shit.
voice acting website?
It is. It's a freelance voice acting website where you can be like, you want to audition for this fucking law firm that's
Yeah.
like 20 feet from you?
Ooh.
85 other people applied.
Free industry secret right there.
That's right.
That's what you get from listening to the goods from the wood.
Hell
For the
Yeah.
low price of $500 a year, you too can do it.
Oh, man, that's worth it.
Well, the Freddy. The Freddy Krueger one is exclusive to FYE, by the way, which I didn't even know
Wow.
still fucking
Yeah, I was
existed.
gonna say Blast from the Past starring Brendan Fraser.
Right.
So it's available in like 3 stores in the whole fucking country.
Well, so here's what happened.
Brendan the Whale Frazier.
Casey was nice enough to order it from the FYE website and send it here. The problem was that the person delivering the package left it outside the door and not at the mailbox. And so he texted me, was like, hey, the package arrived. I was like, oh, let me go downstairs and check for it. And it was torn open and the can was gone.
Absolute bum.
So
Animals.
shout out to Casey. Thank you so much for sending that.
Sorry, we live in hell.
I mean, you've listened to the pod, Casey.
Yeah.
You know what the
We're pretty
barrels are.
descriptive about it.
Yeah, but
Speaking of which, I tell you that like this drunk driver smashed into 2 cars on my street last night or 2 nights ago.
Whoa.
Dude, yeah, like I was sitting there watching Broadchurch in my the first season, just getting caught up.
someone got
What's
broadsided.
all the deal about this Broadchurch? Yeah.
Were you enjoying it?
I was very much enjoying it. I was in like episode 6, and I was like, I'm got some real leads on who I think might have did it. And then bang, like this fucking like huge Mercedes like SUV smashed into this parked car that's been in front of our apartment building for like days, and then pushed my neighbor's Hummer, like pushed it sideways,
Jesus.
and then drove off.
Oh,
And he
shit.
Of course.
Yeah, of
you
course,
can't
yeah.
stick around after that.
brought the neighborhood together. Really, I mean, like it's a bunch of people who've really not known each other except for a couple of our vanity plates.
Uh-huh.
And we were all just like, yeah, I mean, he clearly came from there.
Oh, yeah. I'm Sexbot 8, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a it's LA bitch. That's me.
I'm joystick fucker.
Yeah. I was like, what's your name, Mike? It's nice to meet you, man. But yeah, everyone was like turned into, CSI, it was like, he clearly came from there. Guy was clearly intoxicated.
Yeah, no one knew it all.
No one knew fucking anything. And like everyone like took turns talking to the cop. Be like, well, you see, you could tell from the degree of where it hit right there.
You told the cop what show you were watching and
Man,
everything.
I went back up and finished Broadchurch. I was like, I don't speak to pigs. I don't chat with swine. you dig?
Me and Wolfbat are gonna go watch. Actual license plate I saw. Shocked when it wasn't Danzig.
Oh, Wolfbat.
I saw Wolfbat. I was like, that's gotta be Danzig, right? It wasn't somehow.
Oh God. Yeah, I can assume he's in the greater Los Angeles area, right?
He's
Somewhere.
Los Feliz, yeah. Yeah,
Figured see him around here somewhere.
famously, Pat Riley on the show talked about seeing him at Trader Joe's waiting for more samples to be brought out.
Do you want to bring more samples?
Where are my meatballs? Meatball! Shit.
I actually had a situation like that where
Really?
I was actually at the Improv. I came out from the Hollywood Improv, and I wondered where my car was because I kept looking. I'm like, I could have sworn I parked on this street. I parked on this street. Kept driving around, and it turns out that my car had been smashed
Oh my God.
to literally undrivable in a hit and run. And it had been towed away.
Fucking hell, dude. That is terrible.
Towed away.
God.
And then there's no note, of
No
course.
note or anything.
Like he does a barrel roll out of the car and writes a note. I am drunk.
I would figure the towing company or someone would try to contact
you figure like maybe there's like fucking, some of the businesses around have ring cameras or something. Like, did somebody see it?
I ended up having to go to the police department. I was there all night, and then finally at like 5:30 in the morning, somebody comes out and they're like, "We found your car. It's an impound."
Shout out to our friend Grant Lyon had a Tesla crash into the front of his and also friend of the show Dave Waite's house.
Ooh.
And
This is an electric vehicle too.
is it?
He
Yeah.
fucking Alan Rucked it. He Alan Ruck followed it.
Oh, Jesus.
I was really hoping it was a Waymo that actually did it.
Oh,
Dude, Carly signed up for Waymo. We're about to do that shit.
Are you really?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Are you gonna,
I don't want to hear someone's life story on the way to the airport.
I want to be dead by
they don't treat us right. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm barely awake.
I'd rather be dead inside a robot than listening to your sad story.
I'm already dead inside a robot, brother.
That's just society, bro.
That's society, bro.
Carter, my GPS freezes up if I get off Vermont.
Yeah.
You're going to trust a robot to drive you?
I'm going to let it drive me 20 feet to the liquor store. Like, that seemed to work out. And then it's just going to be nothing but a fucking airport shuttle. I'm going to take flights that I can't afford to places I don't need to be because of Waymo.
But yeah, they crashed the Tesla into Grant's house.
Jesus.
And before he could call the cops, there was already a tow truck there taking it away. And his original conspiracy theory was that Tesla had called the wrecker so it wouldn't go on a report of a Tesla losing a troll.
Dude, that's my theory on the fucking Alan Ruffalo shit.
Well, but
no one was like he was drunk. It was just like he was in some sort of electric vehicle.
Well, but here's the thing. It's nefarious, but it's not that nefarious. What it is tow truck companies listen to police scanners and try to beat each other to the scene, because Grant said 2 tow trucks showed up and started arguing over who got to pull it out of the house.
He's the belle of the ball, yeah.
Yeah, totally. And then somebody pulled it out and got it out of there. But apparently it is a tow truck thing. So probably what happened is someone hit the car, someone called the cops, and the tow trucks beat the cops there.
This is like the tornado chasers and Twisters, spoiler alert. Where they're fighting to see who can get to the tornado.
They're just watching.
The science nerd is being like, oh, look, we have a ding. And then the swarthy Glim Powell-esque character comes and fucking takes that Tesla.
Hold on.
He wrangles the Tesla and shit.
Spoilers for Twister for anybody who hasn't seen Twisters out there, because there's just so many twists and turns, no pun intended. But a YouTube channel? What? Who's watching this channel? He's like, we got 1 million followers. I'm like, and you're selling T-shirts?
So it's
you should be making a lot more money than that.
I hate to say
then
it.
when they start chasing the biggest tornadoes, they stop getting on YouTube about it. They're like, this
is bigger than that, bro.
Also, their YouTube channel, it doesn't seem that interesting because they're like, we're live right now in this tornado. It's like, no, you're inside the car. We can't see anything. You don't have it pointed out because you're inside the tornado. And then also what was the go-go gadget car that they had? It was Inspector Gadget
that
situation.
digs into the ground and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I found the name traumatic as the recipient of many titty twisters in my life. Thought it was a horror movie.
That is based on, I don't know how many followers they have, but it is based on several YouTube storm chaser guys.
That's
and there was one who, typically they're in the Midwest chasing tornadoes, and he does have this jacked up truck that
he has a tiny mouth, just like Glim Powell.
Little chiclet teeth.
My favorite though is when they go to the rodeo, and then he's like, "How do you know so much?" She's like, "How do you know so much?" She's like, "I used to be I'm like, "Oh, of course you."
Yeah.
I think I was a bull rider, and now I'm a meteorologist. It makes a lot of sense.
So I went into that movie wanting to hate him, but I was like, God damn it, he's got charisma.
He has so much.
He's a movie star, dude.
Oh yeah.
He absolutely. He's one of those guys where if you saw him at a bar here, you're like, yeah, it's gonna be about 10 minutes before he's not working at that bar anymore because he's going to be in a movie.
Yeah. Well, so the guy that I'm thinking of, my friend Dr. Rock sent me this. He came to LA because normally he's in the summertime, he's in the Midwest chasing tornadoes. In the winter, there's no tornadoes. And last winter, we got essentially a year's worth of rain in Los Angeles over the course of a week and a half. So he came to LA in his giant tornado truck and was just driving around the Hollywood Hills, but he didn't know where the fuck he was going. And it was just rain, but it's also just LA rain, so it's not even that impressive. It's just destructive more than anything. Yeah, and there's just mud. And so it's just him trying to keep the same energy that he has chasing tornadoes, but he's just looking at mudslides. Perfect.
Did you hear about the tornado that hit Covina?
No,
I remember kind of hearing about it.
Yeah. It just took out one store. Yeah. I felt so horrible for these people because you're not gonna have tornado insurance in West Covina, California.
No way.
What religion were they? Because that's the wrong one.
My favorite though in the movie is we don't know how tornadoes are formed. I'm pretty sure this is something that's been studied for years and years and years.
It's probably one of those. Did you know? We're not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's speaking of horror movie characters. Oh, let's get it in us, guys. Let's get it right the fuck in us.
People should dress up like the Twister for Halloween.
I'm sure they will.
Oh my god.
In LA, all people dress as is movie characters or memes. It's very pathetic. It's sad out here in these streets, folks.
It's like a kind of a halfway making it if you can dress like the movie you wanted to be in.
Actually, I have a costume party on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Can I come?
Yeah, it's a birthday party, costume party. So I gotta
All right.
figure out what I'm gonna be. How many Rachel Guns will be there? How many Ray Guns? will
Oh
be
God,
there?
so many.
This energy drink is not any colored. I figured it'd be red like blood.
G Fuel's always no
This
color.
is,
How much?
Smells weird.
How much caffeine are we talking?
oh God, I just smelled it.
140 mgs.
It does smell like an armpit.
It tastes like almost nothing. I've been drinking Diet Coke though.
got it
so
right
maybe
in my
palate's
fucking
all
nose.
fucked
Oh
up.
yeah, I gotta.
Dude, for some reason I drank like way too much Diet Coke the other day. Oh, it's such a disgusting thing to do. I've done.
Yeah.
But it like made me
doesn't have
fucking
a, it
freak
doesn't
out.
really
I forgot how much
doesn't
caffeine.
have a flavor. Honestly,
Nothing. No
this
flavor.
LaCroix Mojito has more flavor.
This has nothing approaching a flavor.
It's not even that sweet.
No.
It's 0 calorie, right?
Yeah, it's 0 calories, 0 sugar.
How did you know you were freaking out off Diet Coke?
Well, I also had like a cold brew, and I think I did the show today, so I was like, had an energy. I had way too much caffeine, and I had like a huge headache. You know, I couldn't sleep, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, you know, like you don't. I'm not aware of overdoing it until like I can't.
I like how you blame the Diet Coke instead
Well,
of
I
the
had,
cold
like, a
brew
bunch of-
and the energy drink.
I had a bunch of them, to be fair.
Oh, damn it, dude. Yeah, I haven't been drinking that much lately. It makes me feel crazy.
Does anybody here ever been in a situation where you're expecting a regular flavor and somebody hands you the diet? It's like the most shocking thing to your system.
I pretty much only drink diet shit
really?
at this
Okay,
point, so
okay.
I'm very
Okay.
used to that taste. But I'm sure you're probably going through it here because
I am.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's a thi-
sucralose.
It's a thing. I don't know if I'd call it a liquid. You know how like they said they just found water like on Mars?
Yes, yeah.
This is probably the consistency of the water on Mars.
It's a Newtonian solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like it's gamey, but it's
The thing is,
It is water.
No, it's game changing.
there's nothing.
Game changing.
serial killer fuel.
There's nothing to hate here, but there's also nothing to love here.
It is. Yeah,
I'm
you're
with you
right.
on that,
It is
yeah.
a perfect pH 7.
I think the woof of you get off of it.
That dog.
I'll tell you what, the sniff on it is not. This is what I say about the wine too in Malibu. So come visit me.
Oh yeah.
It's not very good.
That's not. So wait, do you say that to the customers?
I say if you get
It's got
good
a bad-
you
got
get
a bad
sniff
sniff.
on it, it kind of smells like shit, right? Anyway, bottoms up.
I'm giving Jason 2 out of 5.
That's the worst energy drink I think I've ever
It's.
had.
I mean, it's not worse than Red Bull, but it's also doesn't taste like
There's
anything.
way more offensive tasting ones. Than
I think it's
that.
just because it smells so bad. I think.
That's
Yeah,
true.
It does
yeah.
smell really bad.
Smells
I literally accidentally got some in my nose. You'll see it on the on the video playback there.
Yeah.
Not
Unbelievable.
pleasant.
No.
Continues to not be pleasant.
I feel like I've been giving a lot of 2.5s lately, and that's just me not sticking with an opinion.
that's the
No,
thing, it's
I'm
just-
going 2.5 on this one.
Yeah.
Really?
Because there's nothing to love, nothing to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people would say that's a 0. But
Yeah.
for me, I'm comparing it to others on the same scale as I use for every drink.
Yeah.
If like 3 is and 2.5 is like average,
Right.
generic even,
Yeah.
I would go with generic.
It's Sam and I were texting about this as we do every week about G Fuel.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And G Fuel, they've never done anything to stand out for me. All of their flavors, I couldn't tell you a single thing about them.
I like
Not
the
exactly
ca-
game changing, is it?
Well, the problem is they don't have any flavor.
Yeah.
The can is just branded with a video game.
Bingo.
And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this is the Tetris block, drop, and punch.
Either
or
a-
some shit. you
Either
know?
a video game or a racist YouTuber video game guy. So they have the PewDiePie energy
Oh yeah,
drink.
Is he- he's racist.
Oh well, he famously had a heated gaming moment. You know how when you get pissed at video games and start yelling slurs.
Rivers, cut to the clip.
I forgot about that.
Amazing.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Did you guys ever see the Tetris movie by any chance?
No.
Oh
Fuck
no, with
I
the
have
guy
a
who played Elton
goddamn-
John. Yeah.
I'm
Tetris Edgington.
I don't want to see any movie about a product or brand ever again.
The founder burned you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the founder was fucking hilarious for all sorts of reasons. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
my favorite part of Founder, there's a scene in it where he's like arguing with his ex-wife, and his ex-wife is like yelling at him like, "You'll never make it in a restaurant that only serves burgers and fries. You'll never make it." Just like
It's the Dewey Cox thing.
Yeah,
where it's
it's
like, you're
true.
never going to make it.
Yeah,
Just quit.
but just the real, and as an audience, that's not true at all.
Yeah,
There's just like no reason to have her be the one to do it. It really feels like the founder guy was like, put a part in the script where my ex-wife is a dumb
Doesn't
bitch.
believe in him.
She's a dumb bitch. Put that in the script.
My favorite
I just want her to look dumb as hell.
My favorite part about the founder, though, is that the fact that, like, literally they just basically just brought it up. They're like, we're in the real estate business. Like, we could care less about food.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Also, that they tried to pass off Decatur, Georgia, for San Bernardino or whatever, and you're like, no, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, like
trees.
Cobra, like Cobra Kai is shot in Georgia as
And-
well, too.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not Reseda. Come on, can't fool me.
But people who live in Reseda don't know that. People who live
It's true.
in Middle America don't
And
know
the
that.
establishment, the motherfucking establishment of the United States of America doesn't want to just come out and say, "Hey, Cobra Kai, it's filmed in Georgia."
Do you think
they don't want to say that?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think Middle America just assumes that like karate is huge in Reseda? Just, like it's the number one thing at high schools.
I
like,
mean,
all
certainly at one point they definitely
LA
did.
has an alarming amount of karate gyms.
Oh yeah, well,
You just in the whole town, it's hard to drive a mile without hitting one in some places.
yeah. And back in the 80s, a lot of those karate instructors made it onto screens, like Steven Seagal, for instance.
Wait, he was an LA karate instructor.
Yeah, he was like the karate instructor to like the guy who started
that makes
CAA
so much sense.
or
No.
something. Yeah, and they were like, "We got to get you in the movies."
Are you serious?
Yeah, of
God,
course.
that makes so much
unreal.
sense.
Yeah,
That's unreal.
yeah, and he's going to be doing Making the Band 3.
A good sign.
Yeah.
Better band, LFO or O Town?
Ooh, well.
Oh, LFO all day
Yeah,
long.
LFO.
New Kids on the Block had a bunch of
Yeah.
hits. Yeah. Oh, LFO.
Chinese food makes me sick.
Right?
Yeah.
Racist.
What's
I
the
think it's
O-Town
fine.
song?
Oh, Liquid Dreams. This one, it's. I mean,
This song sucks.
Oh yeah, well, you got to get to the horrible chorus. This is. Oh,
Oh yeah.
here we go. It's gonna name check a bunch of famous people.
Supermodel.
Destiny's Child.
Oh, this song.
With Janet Jackson smile.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like this song.
You like this
I
one
just
now?
like this part.
This is another name checking boy band song.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Janet Jackson's gonna be part of my Liquid Dreams.
Yes, exactly. Well, he's building a woman. You see, he's taking all of he's getting Janet Jackson's mouth and various parts of the band Destiny's Child and assembling them into a thing that makes him go jizz in his bed.
Unbelievable.
I think
Yeah.
the lead singer guy is like a fitness guy now.
Blimp millionaire. He took over the empire.
Is he a blimpy millionaire too?
I don't know if there's any. That's what's wrong with this fucking country.
No
Joe
more
Biden
blimpies.
killed all the damn blimp millionaires. There's no money in
O-Town
it.
had another song though, right?
I believe they had
They weren't just a one hitter. They weren't just a one hitter.
Again,
Come on.
these kids were so exploited.
They
were
yeah.
all living in his house because he was a cheapskate.
Yeah.
They literally made no money. He would have them tour like malls around the United States, and they were naive. They didn't know any better, and they'd get like royalty checks for like $150, and they're like, "Oh, this is great." Meanwhile, like they're making millions of dollars.
Oh yeah.
It's like water costs money. Let's all shower together.
And his whole argument was it's like all the money that he invested into the bands.
Jesus, their third biggest song is called "We Fit Together."
Ooh, God, dude, they're all fucking.
What's the first
Me,
one?
we
all
make
dirty pervert songs.
we make the beast with two backs. Yes, we do.
Why would we leave the studio?
This one is
I imagine he
all
likes
or
to-
nothing.
He talks like
This
Don
is-
Vito from.
every-
Christ, just sing the fucking song already.
Could you imagine going to an O-Town concert in like 2002 and it's just a bunch of like 45-year-old men in tank tops?
Probably.
I don't know that they ever would have been able to fill like a concert. I feel like they're one of those barnstormers where they would do
at their
6
height?
malls in a day.
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the height of their powers, I'm sure.
No, they're Paper Tiger, dude. Nobody was riding for
Dude.
fucking O-Town.
Do you think any of those guys made 6 figures?
No
in music.
No, P Diddy stole all of their, or Lou Pearlman stole all of their money, just like P Diddy did to the season 2
I bet
guys.
they could fill out like a fucking.
No, the high school gymnasium, perhaps. That's what I think. I think they would be brought in as a little special treat if the class brought their grade point average up.
So how were NSYNC and Backstreet Boys able to break through away from all this craziness?
I think
Did they just get they just get so big that they're
If they're getting royalties from this shit, the dentist fucking waiting rooms are paying them.
I was gonna say this song.
Stop.
This is definitely their biggest song.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm going to go with O-Town then.
Spotify reflects that.
By the way, I'm fully convinced that the only reason that TNT exists as a network is because of dentist rooms.
Yeah. Well,
whenever I'm at the dentist, they're playing TNT.
Yeah. The reason
Playing Batman Begins again.
There's another episode of Charmed.
Ooh, yeah. The reason they were able to break out is because they had the Disney machine fully behind them. So Backstreet Boys followed by NSYNC. And with NSYNC specifically, I think there was a time where Backstreet Boys were off the road and they were just running the NSYNC Disneyland special over and over on TV while they had this down period between albums. So they kind of ended up surpassing them. If I remember why had there two fucking documentaries about this, by the way? Because I watched whatever the other one is.
So they bought themselves out of their contracts with Lou Pearlman.
They did, yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, they had to get away from him. But for some reason there's two. It's like Firefest. Needlessly, there are two documentaries on this subject.
I have a bunch of bedrooms. There's the one bed. We can all sleep in the same bed. So we can get up and record.
Just bounce off my belly.
But the thing is, it's like he was just throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks. There was like
throwing
100
spaghetti
men.
against
I was going to say, with him, it was literally, dance on the noodles.
It's easier when you're wet. Then the spaghetti will stick.
I got a new band. They're called Al Dente.
We can sing a song called I Want You to Grab Me Down There or whatever.
Now mush those grapes with your feet.
I call you the Great Boys.
Call it down there happy.
Like the super Italian coded boy band called Al Dente.
By the way, is Menudo like the Latin version of like the whole Lou Pearlman scam type of thing?
Yeah.
I think Menudo predates all of it. Menudo's like from the 80s.
Oh,
Like
I think
once you got to a certain age, you couldn't be in Menudo anymore, which is creepy.
Dude, like, Menudo still exists.
Yeah, it still exists. I think it's even older than the 80s, if I'm not
Like
mistaken.
70s,
I think
maybe?
it's the 70s or something.
Jesus.
But yeah, they would just cycle them out. So as soon as you got too old, you graduated from Menudo.
But now they're like an influencer group now. Like now they're like YouTubers.
Oh yeah, they had to.
They had to morph into something.
They didn't, make it to 2024 by not adapting.
But yeah, dude, YouTubers are like the new like testing ground for like teeny pop.
Oh
kinda
yeah,
shit.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking O-Town, baby. Shout out to Orlando.
Friday.
I love you.
Everyone wants him, but what does he want?
I just want to go back and live one day again, like it used to be.
Plus, the band splits from the man who made them. 2 all-new episodes mean you can't miss a minute of Making the Band. Friday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
Speaking of Florida, my friend Josh Watts, who's a great comedian based out of Louisiana, made me aware of something on Facebook that I just wanted to share with you gentlemen that was very fun. So he posted a screenshot from the Panama City, Florida comedy Facebook page, and a woman named Amanda left a nasty review that I wanted to share. It's,
Of the Facebook group?
on the Panama City Comedy Facebook page, which is an independent production company that does shows all around Panama City and does a great job, by the way. Shout out to everybody there.
I don't know, Amanda doesn't seem to think
Well,
so.
Amanda does not, but so Amanda says, I love how Facebook reviews work because it just says, Amanda doesn't recommend Panama City comedy. She says, quotes, I've always enjoyed comedy show until the show.
Singular comedy show. I've always enjoyed that one comedy show I went to.
I've
10
always
years
enjoyed
ago.
comedy show.
As well as food.
I always love
Food and car is good as well.
I always love when someone hits their head really hard and then starts typing.
I like comedy show and bed.
There's just blood coming down her eye. I like comedy show.
Sandwich is nice.
Until the show at Dick's Last Resort, which shout out to Florida bar names.
No, that's not a Florida bar name.
That's a chain.
restaurant.
That's
Yeah,
Is that a chain?
It's one of those stupid chain restaurants where the servers
insult
are
you,
mean
yeah.
to you.
Oh.
Like when you sit
Like,
down,
here's your
they're like,
sandwich, fatty.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, then this makes
I've had a
even-
friend work there for a long time.
Yeah, it's like a
don't think she
place
works
where
anymore,
rich
but-
assholes go to get a laugh.
Well, this makes even less sense then. So she says, until the show at Dick's Last Resort on April 9th, 2024, we bought 20 tickets to the show all to be told to be quiet or we would be kicked out. It's a comedy show.
Oh,
So they just went in there and for like treating it like it was a bar.
There's 20 people and they were there but she makes it specific, like, we love comedy show, and then goes in there and 20 people are talking, and then they were like, hey, leave, and she's shocked.
Yeah,
They kicked her out.
It sounds like they were all drunk.
I mean,
I think a lot of people
in my
go into
professional comedian opinion, it sounds like all those people are drunk.
and sometimes it's not unfounded, but I think a lot of people go into shows like afraid that someone's gonna look at my glasses and tell me I'm stupid, and I gotta have a preload like I'm not gonna take that shit.
right. But then other people go into shows like, I'm a talk.
Yeah,
They're just like, this is a party. Like we're going out there serving drinks.
It's like that guy got up and started talking. Why can't I?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as
Yeah.
a comic, one thing you'll notice is sometimes you're looking out at the audience and you say a joke and people laugh, and then somebody starts whispering to someone else, and they're likely just being like, "Oh, that reminds me of fucking Jared does that thing."
Right.
But on stage, you're like, "Why are you fucking talking to that person?"
Yeah.
But in your
I'm
head,
about to have a meltdown.
in your head, you're also know like, "Oh, my joke triggered something that resonated with them, which should be a good thing." But you're like, "Will you pay attention to me? Don't talk about your friend Jared, who
my mom.
also is a bad boyfriend or something."
It's so funny though, because that is like the insecurity of comedians. We just assume that it has something to do with us.
Yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah.
like, fuck this person or whatever. And there's like, in reality, they were like, your daughter needs to be picked up at 3 o'clock or something.
Right.
Like that. Yeah, it's like something important.
I have penis
Coke in my
cancer.
purse.
Yeah, they're like you think they're immediately being like, "Wow, I hate this guy and he's ugly."
Yeah.
Or like they literally could be saying like, man, this is like my favorite comic I've ever seen. We need to find out where
Yeah.
see more of this person.
Or we're going to kick this guy in the balls after the show.
And the truth is, the only people who are like, "I hate this guy so much," are other comedians.
That's true.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
By the way, can we get back to the Dick's Last Resort thing really quickly?
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
Who pitched this idea? Who was like, you know what people want? They want to go to a Chili's, but like be lambasted
A rich
at the same time.
douchebag. A rich
Unbelievable.
poor people would never go to this.
Why would anyone want to? Like, why? This,
Because you're rich and everyone treats as a yes man around you all the fucking time. The only people I ever knew who went were like kids from the rich part of town who I went to high school with.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
I never heard of it till this moment. I didn't know
They
it was
don't
a
have
thing.
that many of them.
Okay.
but
So
Yeah.
it must be a Gulf Coast kind of thing.
No, I had a friend who worked at one in Nashville.
Oh, shit.
She like
Okay.
became a manager.
She must have been really bitchy, huh?
She's a great comic.
Well,
yeah.
that's kind of a thing in like very local, like one restaurant only kind of places in different cities. Like the Varsity in Atlanta, they're kind of dicks to you. The Wiener Circle in Chicago, they're kind of dicks to you. But I love that there's a whole chain of it. It's like, no, this is our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also that
oh wait,
she was
hold on a second. They're supposed to be dicks to you at Varsity?
in Atlanta.
I didn't realize
Oh
that.
yeah, that's their whole thing. Yeah.
Oh,
what are you
I-
having? What are you having?
Oh, I
Next.
thought she was just a dick.
No, that's
Oh,
their
okay.
thing. It's
was
hot dog
real-
places for some
I
reason.
know, but I was like really upset because like she was treating me so poorly.
Oh no, that's the whole thing.
well, I
No,
never. I was the
You
same
just
way.
didn't know.
I didn't know.
You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
see that
No one
happen-
explained that to me.
You didn't see that happen to like 30 people in front of you.
Yeah,
no.
when you go to the front of the
Why are
Varsity
we
in
all
Atlanta.
taking this sitting down?
Yeah,
I'm the same way.
when you go up to the front of the Varsity in Atlanta, they just go, "What are you having?" And that's their
Hot dog.
That's their catchphrase. It's on their shirts and,
And
shit.
what
are you
you
having?
What are you supposed to say?
You're supposed to immediately have an answer. They go next, like they go to the back of the line and shit. You're supposed to be like chili dog, no onions or whatever, like your whatever your order is. If you don't got it,
And then if
they're
you're like, "Oh, can I also get fries?" They're like, "Oh, man,
"Fuck you."
I'm just like I'm just gonna look like
yeah, but they have spit in them now.
I'm gonna fucking kill you." Whoa! I just want. Can I get a Diet Coke too?
I'm not waiting. Like, what's the next one? Like, someone's gonna like raise startup capital to open like a restaurant called Tenement.
yeah. yeah.
It's like here's like a bag of ramen noodles that's uncooked. Here you go.
well,
They should have hospitals like this. Like, "Oh, what happens? You get shot, you fucking idiot! Fuck you!"
It's a theme hospital. though.
No, people like it. Rich people like it when they have liver cancer. You're like, "You're gonna die, idiot."
well, Amanda.
Jester's rule or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it's like Patch Adams stuff, but mean.
My favorite thing though is that somebody's like some poor kid's gonna get like go like too far.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
some guy, and then the next thing you know, there's gonna be like litigation.
Well, Amanda didn't stop at Facebook. She also took to Google reviews as well and wrote, "The comedians were great. However, the management was not. I purchased a total of 20 tickets, only to be told that we had to be quiet or we would be kicked out. This is a comedy show, not church. Unfortunately, the comedians will suffer due to not giving them our business anymore, all due to manager poor actions."
See, this is the
How much
thing.
for tickets?
Yeah.
Well, also, I should say, Josh points out that they had 11 people, not 20.
Okay.
So,
I was gonna say, as comedians, would you rather come to the show? People who like going out or comedy fans?
ooh, that's a dangerous sword edge to walk there.
Yeah.
I suppose the answer is comedy fans. but-
I think it's the first one.
I like it when it's a mix of both.
yeah, if it's a
Yeah,
mix
yeah.
of
but
both.
that's a tough ask.
So comedy fans. Let's just say there's some people that come to my head right away. Then this,
Yes.
Sure.
in this environment that we're familiar with here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
absolutely.
go, I don't know if I want those to be the people in my crowd.
Yeah.
yeah.
but there's people who don't like.
It's like saying, do you want
shitheads.
food critics like at your restaurant? Like,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a
I
good
think
point.
you're right. Yeah, a healthy mix of both is probably the way to go. But also, you want people that
just-
are
it's always
understanding of the fact that it's performance.
It sounds like she was at some like open mic at a bar where she was one of the only people in the bar, and they like talked to her the whole time, and she was just so drunk.
And she thought that was comedy,
Yeah,
so
she
she goes
thought
to
that
a
was
real
fun.
show, and it's like, oh no, lady.
I guess my connotation of like fan is very different in like Los Angeles versus like Panama City.
True, very
It's
true.
like, when I think of a comedy fan in Los Angeles, I feel like this person is going to be like taking notes.
Yeah.
And like breaking down the structure of the jokes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like the originality. Like,
I mean, there's
more
some-
like comedy critics.
There's some connoisseurs. For
yeah,
sure.
comedy connoisseurs. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's almost better than someone like, I didn't know you couldn't talk at this.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like. the
I don't know.
mix of both.
Either one doesn't sound like the funnest audience. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
usually,
problem with comedy nerds is sometimes they just don't feel the need to laugh.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Like, I understand
That,
this.
that's, but that's the thing is like comedy nerd, like comedy, if you want to use the term nerd or fan or whatever, a lot of the times like they're so engrossed in comedy that they're watching it the same way people like break down, like if you're like a sports nerd and like you're
Right,
watching the
right.
game. Have you ever watched like a game with like a sports nerd who's like breaking
Yeah.
down formations?
right.
You're like, what is this, like the Manning cast? Like this is a little.
See, I go the opposite way. I never understand what's happening with any sport.
Or it's like when you go to like New Beverly or something, and there's like this
Ooh,
movie.
there we go.
And then you know what I mean. And there's like someone behind you being like, "Oh, this next part is brilliant. It's brilliant." And, then, like, and it's just like they won't just let the fucking movie play. They're just like, "Bravo!" like that kind of shit.
By the way, they looked up her Facebook bio, and it just says, "If my strength intimidates you, you realize that's a weakness of yours."
Well, hey,
Well,
it's that's fairly
Is
put.
she
yeah.
like jacked or something?
Nope, just like a regular white woman from Florida in her 40s. Yeah, so
Unbelievable power.
yes, the power of fucking the universe.
That's such a. If you just said that description to everyone would have a completely different idea. A woman from Florida, exactly, irregular.
I don't know. Some lady freaking out at a Dick's Last Resort show is not like you're not there to see the Criterion Collection of comedy anyway.
Yeah.
You're already like, man, these ribs are all right, and this shit is wild.
Well, that's the thing. They don't realize it. They have a fucking great scene down there. So it is one of those things where you do have to sort of train the audience and build a scene out like that. So I do understand on some level just introducing good comedy to Dick's Last Resort if my mental image is accurate of what this place would be. But it's like, hey, if you shut the fuck up and listen, all these people, Josh is fucking hilarious, Olivia Cersei's hilarious. Like they have a great scene down there and they get good comics. It's just,
You're good about shutting down hecklers in a nice way.
oh yeah,
It's such a skill.
well, you
Like,
just interview them.
To be fair though, just in regards to this or everything, like we as comedians or like when we're like trying to find a room to like produce a show, a lot of the times we're just like, wherever they'll let us do a show, we'll do it.
Right.
yeah, for
Like you
real.
need to like think it through and be like, is this the right venue
True.
for
I
this?
assume it
Like,
was.
Yeah.
I assume it
I
was.
saw some pictures
Or they
that
wouldn't
it
be
looked-
selling
Okay, okay.
tickets.
Yeah,
to this.
I saw pictures of the
You
room
know,
and it looked
I'm
fine.
I don't want to shit on the comics or anything. Clearly, these people are crazy.
Yeah. No, I saw pictures of the venue and it looked like you could have a fine show there, but they also had the picture of the offending party and they were.
I've just done shows at places where it's like I go there and I'm like, I understand you wanted to run a show, but like this wasn't the right place to run a show.
Yeah, perhaps. Well, anyway, shout out to the Panama City comedy scene and all my friends down on the Gulf Coast. Sorry, I had this crazy woman, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
keep me updated.
I'm trying to think of the craziest place I've seen someone try to hold a show.
I mean, I've been a part
Parking
of
lot?
I've been a
one in
part
a
of a
parking lot.
laundromat show,
Laundromat show.
a pop-up. Like we were allowed to be there, but it was like
Right.
okay, comedy's starting now while you're doing your laundry.
See, but now that's cool. Like a few years ago,
No,
it's like
this wasn't cool. There was
was a
no,
flash
now,
mob
now
show
that
at a
would have been
fucking
like,
laundromat.
oh, we have seats set up and a good sound
Yeah,
system.
you can
This
see
was
what's
just
about to
like,
happen, yeah.
Nah, bro, we just plugged in a guitar amp and now we're going, hey, there's a comedy show happening right fucking now. And
Sit
then
on the
starting it.
dryers.
That's just
Yeah.
someone having a fit.
I did a show a few years back. Actually, Brandy Posey was on the show with me as well.
Uh-huh.
And it was in a parking lot next to the elevator in the parking structure.
Wow.
Wait, what part of town?
This was at
awesome.
the Westwood at the UCLA.
Oh shit! Oh my
So it was
god!
in parking. It was like parking structure. You know, like when you go to UCLA,
Yeah.
like over by the football stadium. Like that little parking structure underground.
Yeah.
it was in there, and it was
Oh.
at the entrance with the elevator.
Dude, Bruco closing down really fucked over Westwood, man. No, they've never been the same over there.
Oh, so we performed, and they did yellow caution tape around that area,
Hell yeah!
and then like people had to go around it to get to the elevator to go up, or they'd have to go down the stairs. Like it was the most bizarre situation. And I was like, did you lose your venue? Like, why did you do this?
I mean, it's not a bad comedy show name, Going Up, or
Oh, there you go.
something like that.
I mean, for people who frequent a show where the audience doesn't speak English,
Very true. Very true.
which is always fun.
It is,
Yeah.
it is fun.
Yeah. No, I would say that.
I
that
like bad venues.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I
thrive at bad venues.
It is like a challenge where you're just like, okay, that back deck that we did at Hype in Auburn, like that shouldn't have worked, but it ended
Hype?
up great. The one that me and John Michael Bond did back in the spring.
Oh man, that was so fun.
It's like the back deck of a bar and grill, and you're like, is this gonna work? And then it
I'm
was
always
fucking
like
great.
a little afraid of when it's outside
Outside,
because
yeah.
it feels like it's just gonna get
just
lost in the ether. But
That
like
one worked out great.
it was fun.
Shout out
as
to
long as
Bryson.
it's not loud outside.
I mean, as
that's
long-
what kills an outdoor show.
That's
is when
true.
it's
I think as
loud
long as
noises.
people are down for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long-
Yeah. Well, it was Auburn after classes were already out, so it was.
yeah, they were there
town
to
was
see
dead.
that. So like,
we've
yeah.
all done shows where he stood on a shipping fucking crate,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
wooden pallet as the stage.
That's right. Yeah.
And we were just flat on ground with seats that were so uncomfortable people would rather stand.
or in like breweries where like people have their kids there.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like,
Dogs.
yeah, dogs and shit, and like you can't like. You feel bad about like having like a cum joke or something, and because there's like kids playing with like. Yeah.
I've done a couple sets recently where I looked through my material and I was like, man, why is everything I talk about so fucked up or sex filled or sad? Or I don't have a single bit that's just like, damn, I saw something crazy in the store one day. It doesn't have anything that's like, also here's something desperately unnecessarily dark here.
Dude, every time I do comedy in front of like older people, I'm always like, man, all my shit is fucking stupid and dirty.
It's so yeah, it's
like I
just
could
filthy
never do
and
this on
dirty.
TV
Yeah.
ever. But then you like realize some of it probably is you just like
And then you
alter the
realize
wording
these
a bit.
old,
Yeah.
old weirdos are gonna die off and
Uh-huh,
gonna
and then-
deal with women like that lady.
And then I'm gonna get their money.
So Mike is former professional athlete, played pro soccer. Tell us about that
shit,
real
man.
quick.
Well, let's see here. If you're thinking about something to pursue with your life, don't try to play minor league professional soccer. It's not the way to go if you want to have a financially stable life.
That's when you go into stand-up comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah, that's what you do. You choose something that has a much higher floor. And the thing is actually the craziest thing about the whole professional thing, how much work it is, how much time and effort for something that nobody cares about.
You're
Like,
putting up O-Town numbers.
I'm literally putting up O-Town numbers, and that's the thing is like, no matter like you do it, and then you work as hard as you can. And you're like, this is as good as I can get, and you get out there, and you're like, this guy works 20% of his ability, and he's way better than me just because he's a better athlete. And there's like, you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's time for me to move on to something else type of a thing. But like, we're so delusional as human beings. We all just believe that we can get to the highest level of everything.
Sure.
This is becoming depressing. It's becoming like a therapy session. It's becoming like a therapy session.
You're not going to be shit.
So the
You ain't shit.
bottom line is, everybody, just for you guys who are watching at home right now, just realize that you can get to a 5 out of 10 in anything that you.
Yes. Fuck yeah. And that's like,
that's true.
You should try to get to
a 5 out of 10.
a 5 out of 10 in a bunch of stuff.
Exactly.
That's the
You
way
start
life
hitting
is.
7 out of 10, then you're like,
Yeah, just attempt a bunch of shit, become half-ass good about it, you know?
But here's the craziest thing: is you could be a 9 out of 10 in something like stand-up comedy, and nothing will ever happen to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's a lot of things are just out of your control type of a thing. The thing is with soccer is like you get to a 9 out of 10 and something will happen to you because you're that good. I just never
Right.
got that good. But the experience in itself, like I think it helped me out for stand-up comedy and like sketch comedy and everything like that, because it like there's a lot of people who are involved in stand-up comedy or sketch or whatever, and they give up really quickly.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say that they're not used to the rejection type of a thing, but like they're not. Like they came from their, high school drama department or their college drama department, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to be a movie star."
Right,
And they come
right.
to Los Angeles and they're like in their first Groundlings class or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, there's people that are just as good and nobody cares."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
Oh, God. What team did you play for?
I played for a few teams. I tried to play for a team called Inter de Lara in South America.
Okay.
And that did not work out, mainly because of the fact that, like, when you're overseas and you're an American, like, you have to be that much better.
I was going to say, I feel like
for them to justify, like, keeping you around.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's such a much more prominent sport down there, too, that
yeah.
everybody's really fucking good because everybody plays it as kids.
Yeah. So then I came back here, and I was with a team called in Orange County, called Orange County Blue Star, which is now called Orange County Soccer Club.
Okay.
So I was with them for a little bit, and then I was with a team called the San Fernando Quakes.
Yo, hell yeah. All right.
Yeah. We had a
Topical, timely.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's like when you think of minor league soccer, it's very much like minor league baseball. It's like, like the mascot is also the general manager.
Oh,
Right?
they do like, everybody throws fruit at the field or some shit.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
we played at Granada Hills High School.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, not a great decision. Like,
Fuck. I mean, for people listening, the West Valley
Yeah.
is usually 20 degrees hotter than where we are now.
Fucking
and
frying
it's
pan,
like
yeah.
16 miles away.
and for cost effectiveness, we play on artificial turf. So
Oh, so it's like melting?
it's like 120 degrees.
Jesus.
So the grass is melting into plastic.
And obviously, the cheapest time for the permit is like middle of the
High
day. Yeah,
noon.
exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And you get to travel to exotic places like Fresno.
Where it's even goddamn hotter.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Closer to the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're being paid a lot of money.
You're being paid in meal vouchers.
Okay.
So
Per
it's-
diems.
lot of Panda Express.
Carpe per diem.
A lot of Panda Express. We had Chipotle. Those were some solid choices. The best part is the people who would.
I like that. The most filling for your money, 2 places.
Oh yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
my favorite thing is like we would actually do like soup plantation.
Ooh, that's a
All
special
you can
treat.
eat, all
Yeah.
you can eat type of thing. But some people would take the per diems and they would pocket their per diems type of
Yeah,
thing.
obviously.
So that $20, you're holding on to that $20 for that
Just
per
eating power bars and drinking water.
per diem. The craziest thing about that, though, is that like when I look back to how much I was making playing right now back then in like 2007, 2008, like I think they're still paying people like that.
Oh, so it's like comedy. They haven't updated
exactly.
it
They
since
haven't
the
updated-
70s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they know they can just get away with it. type of
Right.
thing, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Not like a lot of things out there that just haven't like increased their rates based on cost of living, and it's insane. It's insane out there. Like when you think about it. Like
Man.
anyway,
So we're getting into this territory. I wanted to share some stories that I found on Reddit about coaching and reffing, because I know you run a podcast about being a goalie and coaching goalies.
Yeah.
So tell them about that a little bit, and then tell us any.
I mean, so the thing is first off, is with the podcast is like I'm really really fortunate because like pretty much everybody on that show is like way better than me and way more intelligent than me. And like that's what makes it so cool. It's like I feel like I'm always learning on the show. And like people are like, well, wait a second, you played professional and you've coached at this level and yada yada. I'm like, yeah, but then I have like the Manchester United, like goalkeeper coach on the show. So like really high
I've heard of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like really high level people.
Holy
and
shit.
everything like that. So I just try to be the comic relief and just kind of let the show keep going. The thing is like when it comes to like youth sports, like don't do it. Like,
you mean don't do the sports or don't do the coaching?
Play the sports. Play the sports as kids. Like that's fantastic. Like it's good to do things and have activities and all that stuff. But like, being involved on like the instructional side is just like it can be rewarding in ways, and then also then you just get like parents out there who are just extremely delusional. And like the thing is, it's like,
dude, I love that.
Yes. I've got some tales.
When you got the 5'4" parent being like, my kid is getting screwed over. They're going to fucking go. They can't do a good job because of you. They're going to go pro.
This kid's like Pele. Look at him.
I mean, the thing is that my favorite thing is the club hoppers is like these people who literally go from like team. There's like, it's just not working out. It's like, we need to find another team for you. It's like, need to find another team for you. It's like this kid's always like at a different team or whatever. At some point you have to realize like,
it's like the same thing with stand-up. It's like, the city sucks. I'm going to move to LA.
I'm going to Austin.
They don't get me here. They don't get me in LA. I'm going to go to Austin. They don't get me here. I'm going to go to Juneau, Alaska.
There are 12-year-olds out there that are the equivalent of like, I'm going to try Chicago. I'm going to try New York. I'm going to try LA. Like,
It's never the city.
It's not the city.
It's not the city.
It's never the scene. It's never the scene.
It's ultimately your parents in both cases. Fucked you over.
There are literally like, and like also honestly, like there are kids out there who like their parents like write their recruiting letters to college. It's like,
oh god,
they have no autonomy whatsoever.
Yeah,
and like you wonder, like you're like, do you even want to do this?
No. And then they come out the other side, psychologically damaged, usually by that,
filled with resent.
Yes, and socially weird.
Well, I think there is a stat in NCAA in regards to like college athletics and like what percentage of kids quit after their freshman season of a collegiate sport, because a lot of them just used it to get to college.
Get into college,
Sure.
yeah. Well, and a lot of them,
sense.
parents Photoshop them into rowing pictures to get them into college, and then they never fielded.
I mean, rowing. I mean, do you remember the crew kids at school? They'd wake up at like 4 a.m. and you're like, I don't.
I grew up in Alabama. I didn't.
Okay.
I've still never met a crew kid. I don't think in my life.
Okay, so I grew up in Northern California. And
shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So like Bay Area, like Oakland, like right outside of Oakland and stuff like that.
Palo Alto has crew kids? Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But the thing is like they would like wake up at like 4 a.m. for like crew and things like that. And I'm like, why are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you really enjoy this that much?
We had J Crew in the mall. That's as close as
I
we
was gonna
got.
say we had J Crew.
We had J Crew, but it wasn't a team. It was a shirt store.
We had Zoo Crew guys in the morning.
Oh, Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Those guys were kind of like athletes.
Shit. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Fucking psychotic right wing athletes.
Yeah. And fat too.
The best thing with the youth sports though is like if you go online and there's like these boards, like these Discord boards and everything like that, these Reddit boards where people are ranking these teams.
Yeah.
So they're like ranking like the best 24 teams in the country, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Those are 10-year-olds.
Yeah. Exactly. Got to keep an eye on this one. Like, no, man.
Also, they can't just call them 10-year-olds. Like, they can't just say like under 10. They have to be like 2014s. You're like, I'm like, do I have to do math? Parents will call me and they'll be like, yeah, I have a 2013. I'm like, I don't know what that
Are they
what
cars?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got a 2013 and a 2009.
Not a lot of miles on it.
Yeah, 2009's got all fucked up, but you get something out of it. Yeah.
Here in LA, though, one of the craziest things about it is like I'll do a lot of these private lessons, and like I will do them at people's houses because they have their own
Soccer field. Fuck me.
Wow.
What? Jesus.
Yeah. And they would rather just have me come.
Yeah.
Like I'm essentially like the equivalent of a housekeeper. Like I'm coming over to their home.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of their kid like an au pair. And
Banging
then,
the dad.
Yeah.
Sam's seen some other videos online.
Yeah. Soccer au pairs, very specific porno. Holy shit.
But there's that's the culture. That's Los Angeles, like youth sports culture is a very different thing, I'm assuming, than like an Alabama type of a
Well,
thing.
yeah, because you have every imaginable socioeconomic background and stuff like that. So it's not just one small small town. It's 200 small towns mushed together.
Exactly.
And everybody's got their hometown hero, and everybody's got their fucking weird, crazy dad. And
Well, you get that.
also-
You get that at the lowest level of sport. Not
Yeah,
even like
right.
when the stuff you're talking about. The fucking like B team, C team, like beginners, child sports. Parents get fucking worked up over that shit.
Oh, yes, they do.
What I think is LA specific, though, to what Michael's saying is like, well, I have a friend who's a drum teacher, and it's just like, he's like, rich parents just dump their kid off on
Yeah.
me for 3 hours, and they're like, I don't want to play drums. He's like, well, here's how you do it, parental. He's like, I hate this, and they just like, he can't tell the parents that they hate this because they're like, great, good, they were gone for 3 hours.
I think my favorite thing though is like parents also have like no like concept of like weather,
Right.
Because they're like, how's Tuesday at 12 o'clock in Van Nuys? I'm like, oh, if you want your child to survive.
Yeah. Are you prepared to deal with someone going into shock?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, I kind of scoured the youth sports Reddit, checking out some coach and ref stories. So, Mike, if any of these sound like something you've encountered, just tell me. This one is, I love the screen name. Go to college, they said.
Go to college, they said. Become a man, they said. Drink lots of beer, they said.
Come out to the coast.
Yeah.
We'll have some dinner. Yeah.
Have some laughs.
Have some laughs. So they say, about 15 years ago, I was a soccer referee for boys and girls leagues with kids ranging from 6 to 12 years old. I had to take away a goal that was scored by a player who was offsides. This was a competitive team of 12-year-old girls. A father came out onto the field and screamed in my face. I told the coaches that I would call the game if they didn't get him out of my face, so he went to the sideline and I started the game back up. About 10 minutes later, I made eye contact with the father, and he dragged his index finger across his throat, signaling that he intended to slit my throat. I immediately blew my whistle, stopped the game, and called the coaches out onto the field. I told them what happened and said I'd be calling the game if the father didn't leave the field. The father threw a fit, but finally left, and we resumed playing. In retrospect, I should have called the game and got the hell out of there.
Wow.
Yeah, so somebody did the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that. Also, like refereeing, like why would anyone want to go through that? Like,
Well, the thing I come to find out reading all these, the people who go through this are other kids. So in a lot of the youth sports, like they're doing like 10-year-old soccer, and
Yeah.
the refs are 15.
yeah,
Because no one else in their right mind would want to fucking do that.
Exactly.
And they think that might assuage somebody from acting violently towards the refs. It doesn't.
No.
Northern Dweller says, I was a youth basketball ref. Giant bear of a dad starts hurling insults and yelling to call a fair game, and that we're the worst fucking refs he's ever seen, and so on. I asked him to calm down or he'd be removed, which just angers him more. He says I have no right to address him, that I'm being biased, followed by threats of violence. I eventually toss him from the game, and he gets escorted out by an off-duty cop. This was literally the first call of the game, about 10 seconds after tip-off.
God,
That's
That guy was
awesome.
ready. He was fucking, he had much more.
I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
You know when you're drunk and you're forced to go to your kid's game,
Yeah.
so you're already pissed off.
May
And
as
then
well
you
make this
see-
interesting,
Yeah,
yeah.
you see something that just really pisses you off. Fucking go for it.
See, that's the thing is like I've been fortunate that like most of my time that I've spent has been in the competitive youth environment. So that's like travel teams, like so these kids are pretty good, and like they're looking to play in college and all that sort of thing. I feel like all these types of situations happen more at the recreational level.
Yeah.
because the parents are insane, and basically at the competitive level, you couldn't get away with this type of behavior. Your kid would be off the team. Like
Yeah.
they wouldn't be there.
They're nervous because they don't know if their kid's got that it factor quite yet.
Eric Piper, we went to Detroit for a hockey tournament. I had a dad from the other team come up to me and yell, "You suck!" right in my face. I was 8. That's amazing.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I mean, how fucking drunk do you have to be to yell, "You suck"? I mean, it's funny.
At an 8-year-old.
It's really funny. But you don't want to actually do it. It's just funny to think about.
do you learn
You
as an
refs,
8-year-old?
you
What-
refs
what-
always want to make the game about you. You want to be the star of the game.
What is-
You think you're better than me? Well, fucking.
You want to fight?
Who wins an 8-year-old youth hockey game? The one kid that can skate all the way across the
yeah,
ice?
I know,
that's
Did he
what-
tell that kid to get off his knees
there
and
was-
stop blowing the game?
Dude, there was a lot of that, like where they were talking about like the kids just physically couldn't skate yet, and the dads were getting pissed, like, "Why you keep benching my kid?" It's like, because he can't skate. Sorry.
That's, I feel like, one of the hardest youth sports is like hockey, because it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it takes a lot of coordination to skate, and children usually aren't coordinated until a little bit later on.
Right, right. Yeah, 8-year-old hockey is just a disaster. The demolition derby.
Like they wanted to, like my nephew's 6, and his friends like are playing youth hockey at 6. And my sister, they wanted her to sign up my nephew for it, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's like, because it's first off, like you realize how long it takes to put 6-year-old skates on and their gear and everything like that.
Yeah,
it's like an hour, and then you go there and they just stand there.
Right. You have to kind of push them to get them going.
You're like, I'll have him do something like swim team or something that he can actually do right now.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
I love the videos of like you really young, like youth baseball, I guess, or t-ball games where a kid will hit the ball and then like 10 parents start screaming like, okay, run, you gotta run, and the kid's just standing there, and then they start yelling at the others, get the ball, and the kid just starts like rolling on the ground or something, having a good ass time, and all the parents are just like screaming at them.
Fucking idiot!
And none of these
It's like chasing a butterfly.
None of these kids want to be here or do this.
Yeah.
Just let them fucking.
And they're
fuck
already
around.
starting to hate you too. So
Just let them fuck around.
This reminds me of when I took karate.
Oh, I got a karate one next.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then maybe after. Well, I'll just.
No, tell it.
Okay. So our instructor's name was Mike Nichols, like the a famed film director.
Hell yes.
But me and my brother called him Mike Nipples because we did not know the famed film director. But he was insane, and he had a mustache, and he was being like, "You guys think this is Power Ranger stuff?
Yes, Hanshi nipples.
You think this is This is going to save your life. This is going to save your life." And then his son was unfortunate enough to be in this class with us.
Oh, God.
And she'd be like, 27 movements. And there was a section of it where he had to sit there and let his psychotic dad like whip him with a fucking like sword covered in like a bamboo.
Oh, like a fucking a Singapore cane and
yeah,
shit?
yeah. And I was like, you'll all be doing this. And he would get his poor son up and start whapping the shit out of him
with the kendo stick.
Dude, with a kendo stick. And he would like just tears streaming down his face. And me and my brother were like, I'm not going to go to karate anymore. So we didn't make it past yellow belt because we didn't want to get whipped by that psycho.
It's amazing, like just how blind sometimes, like tone deaf, like adults can be when they're speaking to children. I remember I was like in 6th grade. It was like PE, and like we were learning like it was like wrestling was the topic.
Oh yeah,
and like the PE teacher was literally like, "All right, you guys all need to really pay attention right now because if you don't, there's a chance you could get killed." It's like, what?
It's like
PE wrestling?
Yeah, well,
it's like how some adults talk to like animals. You know what I mean? They're like, "Do you understand why that makes me mad?" It's like they're a fucking idiot. Like, why are you like just be like calming and assuring.
This guy is Uncle J74 says, "I was at a martial arts tournament with my daughter and saw a dude flip out over what he thought was a bad call. He stormed down to the mat and started yelling at the referee and raised his hand like he was going to hit him and was immediately taken down and choked unconscious."
Yeah. Nice.
That's fucking awesome.
What a bad sport to bat that out at.
Why? Yeah. Like
also, that's a subjective sport. It's not like it's not the same thing as like something like basketball where it's like, well, that clearly was 2 points. Or
right.
You can ray gun out at that sport.
Yeah. But it's funny because like the guy you're describing in your class, like, yes, that's a ridiculous man. I'm not going to try to physically attack him.
No, I saw him do it to his own son.
Right.
Like, he's not going to give a shit about
the
me.
fact that this dad was like, yeah, I could probably take this karate instructor. Like, not unless you're,
dude, it was absolute foot fist way shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that shit.
I mean, he looks just like him, too.
That's awesome.
This guy deleted his screen name, but the post is still up, so I don't know who this is. Anonymous says, "I was about 14 reffing a basketball game, under 11s, I think it was. This one dude was just an asshole, even screaming at his own son, which was disgusting to watch. When I called foul on his son, the dude rushed me. He shoved me from behind to the ground and gave me one kick to the stomach." So this is a fucking 14-year-old reffing a game, and a dad just comes out of the stands
assaulting him, like
kicks his ass. And then he says, "Anyways, lucky for me, my dad happened to be there watching that weekend. My dad came out and popped him with a 1-2, and the dude was sleeping. Lucky for Guy, though, I was able to calm my old man down, saying the kick didn't even hurt, or else he probably would have killed him."
Fair.
Yeah, shout out to your dad, but my God, that's insanity. I don't know if you find I assume alcohol's involved, but if you find yourself fighting a child, something's gone wrong.
I mean, he's hitting his kid at home too. It's not just
that too. Yeah, but just like fighting a stranger's child. Come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
Do you drink in the car?
Oh, he drinks all day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
you get until
So you drunk drive there too.
he hits the snooze button and then grabs the bottle that morning.
Shows up smelling like cigarettes everywhere.
Beer o'clock somewhere. We're gonna kill him.
I'll be honest, I kind of now want to just go to recreational sports activities just to see the entertainment in the stands.
It's like if this was guaranteed every game, you'd be
kinda would
packing it
go,
out.
yeah.
Oh, man.
You'd be packing it the
Yeah,
fuck out.
You know, like who cares about the game? Right?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I just remember when my brother played baseball, this woman who was just so short, when her kid would go up, she'd just go, "Send mama some airmail. Send mama some airmail."
no.
When they're up at bat. And it's just like,
no.
your kid is not going to be good at sports ever. I can tell just from looking at you and your husband, who's the same size. This kid is not going to be a killer. I'm sorry.
Dude. You know what's become popular amongst comedians now of our age range is softball.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Regular softball.
Shout out to John Ozale.
I was going to say, I played one of John Ozale's games.
Oh, did you?
In front of the podcast.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very funny. They have an express rule against trying.
Yeah.
They're like, no hustling. Like it's a big deal. And it's very fun.
This guy, Prince Burke, says, "I'm not a ref, but a parent of a kid on my little brother's under 10 house league hockey team climbed the glass at a tournament in Buffalo trying to get the skinny teenage ref. The refs ejected him, and then he got in a fight in the parking lot with another ejected parent, and the cops were called. He didn't go very quietly. After that, he got deported from the United States and sent back to Canada. I was 11, so I wasn't paying the most attention how it worked legally, but I believe he lost his right to travel to the U.S. So there's so much happening there. He tries to climb the penalty box to beat the shit out of the teenage ref, gets thrown out, and then gets in a fight with another parent who also got kicked out for being crazy and violent in the parking lot. That's a fucking perfect situation. That is just a drunk Canadian snake eating its own tail.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
Canada's so calm and mild-mannered. Not that guy.
Last one here, Nice and Good, says, "In my early days of refereeing soccer, I was still learning, and after a bad call, the two sides of parents got into a coffee throwing competition." I must have been 12 or 13 and the kids were 6 and 7. I called the match a draw and got picked up by my mom an hour later. Didn't let that stop me though. I reffed for another 10 years. So everyone in the stands was throwing their coffees at a teenager.
Jesus.
It's fucking amazing.
What's incredible is there were literally no stakes in any of these activities.
Right.
No.
We're referring
None.
to right now.
None.
Like no stakes. I'll be honest with you. I play men's league soccer right now at a pretty competitive level, and the amount of energy and effort people put into complaining about calls and getting in fights with other players on the other team.
Well, that's why no trying is a great rule.
It's insane to me. It's insane to me because I'm like, every time I get really frustrated and angry, all I think is like, this doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter.
it's fine.
There's nobody here. There's nobody in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this
It's
is for
8
funsies.
o'clock at Los Feliz Recreational Center. Like,
It's absolutely for funsies.
yeah.
So, last item I had, I just felt that we couldn't let this anniversary pass without acknowledging the 20th anniversary of the Dave Matthews Band Chicago Bridge incident.
Yes.
Chicago police today showed a surveillance photo of a bus carrying members of the Dave Matthews entourage to a concert in Wisconsin earlier this month as it crossed the Kinsey Street Bridge and allegedly dumped its septic tank on more than 100 passengers aboard the Chicago's Little Lady tour boat passing underneath.
It was pretty disgusting. I don't know if I could even describe to you how disgusting it was.
20 years ago last week, folks. Can you believe it? It's
Yes.
been that long.
This is morbid, but Carly made me laugh really hard when she was like, "It's the day my dad died."
Oh, no.
It's on the same anniversary.
And in Chicago, too.
Yeah,
Oh,
her and her brother being
no.
like, man, Chicago really suffered a couple of blows that day.
God. Oh, so she doesn't even get to enjoy the poopy falling on the
Her and
people.
her brother have a laugh about it pretty much every year.
I mean, it's the only other thing I know about the Chicago River besides the fact that they dye it green at St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Is the doo-doo.
I mean, he's still massively popular, obviously.
He's fine. He's a fucking.
But did he have another hit after that?
Yeah, this was 2004. That was the year of the.
What about Wee Yumbandoo?
Oh, that was Trippin' Billy's.
That was Trippin' Billy's.
That was
yeah,
his
yeah.
first record. That's Under the Table and Dreamin'.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
no, we're talking. I did it. What's the name of that? Every Day. Lift me up, Lord, from the
I
bottom.
remember I wanted a Godsmack CD, and my mom was like, "No," and bought me Under the Table and Dreaming, and I was like, "Fuck this!"
Just trying to mosh to
as you should be.
Yeah, I hated it.
No.
Or it was before these crowded streets. That's what it was.
Oh, come on.
Don't drink the water.
Well, yeah, that's the
because we just poured 2 months worth of touring shit into it.
Yeah. About 120 people on a Chicago River architecture tour boat.
Great tour. If you're in Chicago, you got to take it.
Yeah, but man, like I would never feel safe on that boat after this. Because that's so insane. But
like, that's the Wilco building. Oh no!
Oh, no! Yeah, 800 pounds of human shit fell on this boat.
Jesus.
Imagine being the bus driver, just letting it rip, and then you see the boat coming. You're like, oh no!
800 pounds.
800 pounds.
How many people are in that band?
I mean, a lot. There's a lot. You got Dave. You got Boyd Tinsley.
You got Sleepy. You got Happy. You got Dopey.
You've got the Grugrux King. Okay.
The Grugrux tank, yeah.
Don't forget about him.
Carter Buford.
I thought you weren't supposed to take massive shits in the tour bus all the time.
Well, apparently that's the DMB was like, hey, how much extra is it for us to
take huge shits?
Duke in here, yeah.
I'll pay extra if I can take huge shits.
I would.
Well, it's like they all like just drink black coffee in the morning and they're like just form a line. Hurry up, I gotta go take a duty.
Just Dave on the tour.
Yeah, he's got like an alto sax player just fucking fighting for his life in there.
A fiddler.
Yeah, a fiddler.
Boyd Tinsley. I forgot what podcast I was listening to, but somebody was like, Boyd Tinsley is probably the richest violin player ever. And
I don't know. What about the guy in the E Street Band? Is there a violin player in the E Street Band?
No, fuck no. Bruce is a normal man. He would never.
One time, one of my friend's dad said that the guy who plays saxophone in the E Street Band, he like begrudgingly was like, fucking guy stole the show.
Clarence Lentz. Of course he did. Yeah.
He was like, I fucking stole the show.
Big man. Hell yeah, Big Man stole the show. R.I.P. to Big Man. But yeah, on the day, the friends of the... And I didn't know this. This is a new detail I found when I was looking this up. On the day when the Dave Matthews tour bus released the Dookie into the Chicago River, obviously it hit the boat going under the bridge. That's horrifying. What I didn't know is that just downstream, there's an organization called Friends of the Chicago River, and their whole point is to keep the river looking nice and not be littered upon. They were like one bridge downstream from the duty having a kayaking lesson. So there's a bunch of environmentalists in a kayak. The Dookie hits the boat passing under the bridge, and then anything that didn't hit the boat goes into the water and through their kayak lesson. Absolutely horrifying.
I have PTSD just being here listening to this.
They're supposed to take it to a waste disposal place for RVs and buses.
Yeah, they have like septic drop-offs for this.
So they were like, it was like coming over the lid. They were like, it's got to go.
It's 800 pounds of it, so it's got to be just a tremendous amount of doo-doo. Yeah. Who stank up the bathroom?
And I was just sounding like the WB frog.
I mean, had none of them seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? Like,
oh man, shitter's full.
Yeah, the shitter was full. Yeah, Cousin Eddie is driving the fucking bus. No, the bus driver is actually from Texas. Stefan Wohl is his name. He pled guilty to reckless conduct and was sentenced to community service and a fine. Dave Matthews Band settled with the city of Chicago for $200,000 and made a $50,000 donation to the Friends of the Chicago River, which I feel like is not, if I'm going to have a kayak lesson in Dave Matthews doo-doo, I'm going to need more than $50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have
Sorry.
civilly sued him too.
Yeah.
For PTSD.
Yeah, I think so. But the incident sparked new efforts to restore the Chicago River, and today the exact spot of the Slurry Slam is marked by a plaque that was placed last year by Riot Fest.
Nice.
So, and I was just in Chicago. I was like, fuck, I'd have gone and getting a picture of that plaque. So I'm coming back to Chicago at some point.
Yeah, that place
Damn.
remains undefeated, dude.
I'm telling
We'll
you,
never be
yeah.
able to see it unless Rivers takes that picture.
I know. Yeah. Just got to say you've been there. So now this is American history, Sam. When else is a rock star of Dave Matthews caliber going to dookie on
A soft rock star at that.
Soft rock star going to be able to dookie on 120 people at once.
I chalk this up to poor planning.
I talk it up
Yeah.
to poor
You
diet.
need a new tour manager, pal.
This is true. Yeah.
You need to fire some members of the team, Dave.
Yeah.
Don't put this on the bus driver. We know he's the fall guy.
Yeah, you can lose a flautist.
Yeah. No, I think Boy Tinsley's gone. He got me toad.
You think Dave's a big anti-cancel culture guy?
I mean, he fired Boy Tinsley, so
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Dave's cool, dude. Dave's really cool. Yeah, everybody knows
Can't
this.
control people sitting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. He just is looking for the best of what's around. It's a Dave Matthews song. Anyway.
I was assuming, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'm definitely going to listen to some Dave Matthews on the way to Santa Monica today.
Listen to Trippin' Billy's and see if it doesn't drive you absolutely fucking nuts. It's one of the worst songs ever made.
It's up there.
Oy.
I don't need anyone but me. Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. There's blood in the water. Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. There's blood in the water. Don't drink the water.
Well, Sam and I had fun on YouTube on Thursday.
We did. I did a live stream, but instead of streaming video games, this time I just walked around. I had some old pairs of shoes that I found under my bed that I wasn't using, needed to be thrown away probably.
All right.
Instead, I took them with me and just went and left them in random spots throughout the neighborhood where a homeless person would find them.
That's nice.
And then was just walking around, seeing what I could do. Walked into a fish market down the street, filmed some fish heads for a
Pork
while.
bung.
It's going mobile.
Yeah,
dude.
they have. I found the pig asshole, the pork bungs.
You need like an Insomniac style show where you just go to grocery stores.
I like how your live stream is just people playing The Sims basically. As
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a friend simulator. You came with me to the store, and then I went down to the subway station, showed people what the deal with that is, and then I was going to loop back around. And then all of a sudden, someone's yelling, "Hey, man!" You know who it is? It's Rivers.
Oh, no.
He's been watching the live stream,
Yeah.
and he's
Got off work.
he got off work and he saw where I was going to be, and he just pulled up and fucking sniped the stream.
Yeah.
And then I got in the car with Rivers and we rolled around.
Yeah. Well,
Went to a different metro station where I went and filmed the police. And then they told me not to film. And then I went and filmed them more. And then they started following me and I ran out. and then I had Rivers drive me away.
yeah.
So first stream, hung out with Rivers, got hassled by the cops, had to run. I don't want to say had to run, but chose to run from the cops.
Yeah. Probably a smart move.
Yeah, it was. But
It's
yeah.
LAPD. You've seen the news.
And those are the fucking bus cops. It wasn't the actual fucking cops. It was these guys who wear fucking safety yellow
I was going to
vests
say,
down there.
the worst thing in the world is a guy who wanted to be a cop but couldn't pass the mental or physical exam and ended up being a bus cop.
Yeah, fucking
Very
bus
dangerous.
cop. He's still trying to tell me I can't film. He said I can't film.
Do they get guns?
I don't know.
Probably.
It's
America.
Everyone a
everyone
fucking
gets
gun.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was a fun stream.
Yeah, it was fun.
Rivers took us to the Seinfeld apartment building.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, 8th and New Hampshire, right next to the Taco Bell.
And I think we're going
Alright.
to do another one this week.
Fuck
If this
yeah.
podcast comes out this week.
It'll come out next week, so it's
Perfect.
probably already up there.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to do another one, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Right?
If I don't get called into work, then yeah, hell yeah. No, Sam was in the Fish Head Market, and they were playing "Always Be My Baby" by Mariah Carey, which is a great song. And so I knew that I would be linking up with Sam. So my entrance, I didn't actually say, "Hey," I just cranked that song. He had already heard it in the fish market. Now he's several blocks away, and a random fan is cranking it, and then that's
it's true. If you watch the stream, I say, "Oh, it's the same song from the market," and then I go up to see who's playing it, and it's Rivers.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have known it was you at first until you said, "Hey, man."
Oh yeah.
Because I was just like, I didn't even realize someone was in the car really at first. I don't know.
It's just it was.
I was in total stream mode where I had lost all sense of surroundings except for what was on the screen.
Right. Yeah, I just thought it was a abandoned van.
Well, in my head, I was like, okay, I'm fixing to walk like a mile down fucking Santa Monica to see what the fuck is happening. But
yeah,
then we got in the car. We did multiple
like an
things.
angel.
Yeah.
River swooped in.
Well, yeah, more streams. Go to youtube.com/thegoodspod and subscribe today for all of the fun. Y'all, we have time for just one more segment, and of course, this is our jam of the week. Oh, look at that.
I didn't know the
Swelling.
song starts like this.
Swelling orchestrals. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Jack Blades from Night Ranger. It's motherfucking Montgomery, Alabama's own Tommy Shaw from Styx. It's the piece of shit of the world, Ted
Right.
Nugent. And Leonard Skinner's drummer. That's right. It's fucking damn Yankees, baby. This is high enough.
The weirdest super group of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the song, Michael?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do. But the thing is that it's the type of song that you get in one of those like hits from like compilations.
Time Life.
Yep.
Yeah. Buzz ballads.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I guess I remember that. This was also like dentist waiting room music, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't hear the lyrics, the song is kind of about nothing. The drums keep going, and you're like, yeah, a song is playing.
Yeah.
A sound is happening.
There's like a couple like speaking in the thing. They're like, this reminds us of when we first met.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a song that you would buy a gun at Walmart. It's playing in the background.
Yeah.
It's funny at the time they recorded this, they probably thought this was super hard too. And now this couldn't be the more softest bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing this reminds me of is the Buzz Ballads thing, where it's like, when love was love.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Buzz Ballads.
Do you remember going to jail? Yeah. Yeah. No, this the video mainly reminds me of Patton Oswalt's first album, where he describes it as being gayer than 8 guys blowing 9 guys. But yeah, the video, there's like a Bonnie and Clyde type situation where there's a man on the run for stealing what looks to be about $40 in singles from 2 liquor stores, and then being gunned down by the police, except that Ted Nugent comes out and deflects the bullets with his fucking guitar solo.
As he was wont to do.
Yeah, hell yeah. But let's get down into these YouTube comments for the video for High Enough by Damn Yankees. This song, 36 million views, 9,740 comments, and I read every goddamn last one of them. So now let us go down and find the best of what's around. First up, Donald Murphy 1 year ago. Tommy Shaw from Styx. Jack Blades from Night Ranger. Uncle Ted and the drummer, Billy Sheen. I don't know. I'm tired and drunk. Was that him? That is Michael Cardelloni is his name. Not in any way Billy Sheen. But making excuses for
Billy Sheen, another Southern rock drummer? Or?
I was thinking maybe he was trying to type Billy Shears, like a Beatles thing. But I don't fucking know.
Wait, who's one of the? Because the Allman Brothers had 2.
Barry Oakley and
Barry Oakley.
and
sure.
Barry Oakley was the bass player. Fuck me, Butch Trucks is their drummer.
Butch Trucks, yeah,
and J-Mo.
I'm sure this guy was just fucking has no idea.
Oh, absolutely.
He was just drunk.
This guy, the Friends Society, 14 years ago. What's so funny is that when I looked up coprophagy, this video was the first thing to come up. I really am addicted to this shit.
Wait, you looked up what?
Coprophagy is sexual attraction to poop. But he basically made himself look horrifying by making the little pun of like, I'm addicted to this shit.
It's got to be one of the most frequently edited Wikipedia pages.
Every day.
Yeah.
Someone's like, no, it isn't. Citation needed. Scott Fox, 7 years ago. I had this song played at my first wedding. Divorced 6 years later. Fucking bitch. Fuzzy butt kiss. Fuck off, bitch boy. Now, I don't know who Fuzzy Butkus is, but I hope his wife left him for a man named Fuzzy Butkus. That's amazing. If you lose your woman to Fuzzy Butkus, buddy.
So at first it sounded like stream of consciousness, but then I think honestly he started yelling at somebody in the house.
Yeah.
And he was like literally, and he was like doing it at the exact same time. So he's like typing it as he's yelling at this person.
Fuck you, Fuzzy Butkus.
Fuzzy Butkus. E. Timmy Treadell from 9 years ago. My neighbor used to listen to this when I was young. I would pretend it wasn't gay because he had a lot of beer.
Oh, this rules.
No, it's good.
Give me another cold one.
Bob Pyre.
Doesn't this rule?
Dude,
That,
so
you know
good.
what that reminds me of? That
Crack me a
that reminds me
can,
of
bro.
like, this is a joke that the audience out there, maybe it's a little too inside baseball type of a thing, but you probably get it from other types of works of art too. But like comedy producers, when they stop running a show and people are like, fuck man, where'd all my friends go? I have no
Yeah.
all these people like hang out with me all the time.
Bob Pyre 3 years ago. So Tommy Shaw used to bitch about being in Styx for years, singing pussy music for wimps. So then what does he do? He joins a band that sings pussy music for wimps. Wow. Dude, you had your shot at a metal band. Maybe you're just not that kind of guitarist.
He did?
I was like, damn, dude.
Do a lot of people like this song?
I think a lot of people who like the song are just Ted Nugent fans.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
because this is the softest Ted ever gets, and those people need to be emotionally cared for in some way, and Ted solo can't do that for them. So if they need a power ballad, this is where they're going.
Can't
This
quite get them high enough.
can't get them high enough off of Jailbait or Wang Dang Sweet Poon Tang. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
sure.
Yeah. Alcoholica 1966, which I was like, dude, good run. If that's your
Fuck
birthday.
yeah. That should be like every person who comments on every person whose comment we read is like, this is basically their screen name.
Alcoholica 1966, 13 years ago. The Nuge is the fucking best. I remember being a kid in Chicago. Ted's mom was a guest DJ on WLS all the time. My older brother had a friend that went to school with Ted in Michigan. He burned down their high school gym. LOL. Coolest cat you'd ever meet. I was like, oh, so he was like a school shooter kid. That kind of makes sense. The English professor 3 years ago. My wife's former secretary's son married Ted Nugent's daughter. Lucky guy. I can only imagine what those Sunday dinners are like. I was like, that is comically close to the Spaceballs, my cousins, brothers, uncles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of crossbow and pro-Trump. And
Oh, yeah. Also, in this video, Ted Nugent is aggressively chewing gum. Like, he's got it like in the side of his mouth and just fucking grinding that shit. And it's weird because Ted has always claimed to be like straight edge, like only had a sip of beer and his dad beat his ass when he drank a beer.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
why do we all take that as the truth?
Well, I don't know. Well, because in that very same Behind the Music, he looks straight into the camera and he's like, yes, I adopted a 17-year-old girl to fuck her. So
He's a straight shooter. That guy.
yeah, absolutely. So why wouldn't he cop to being a cokehead? But that is very much what it looks like. He's grinding that shit like he's wants some coke there. But Roughest Gun Arc says 5 years ago, Ted Nugent chews gum like a dick. Someone should have punched Ted Nugent for chewing gum like that. Ah! It's like something you see in a fucked up nightmare. Ted Nugent chewing
This guy
gum.
loves chewing gum.
Ted Nugent chewing gum all fast in the corner of his mouth. LOL. I still like the song, but damn, I can't watch the video. It's like, how do you watch baseball, my man?
That's the most like basically pissed off Wrigley's rep I've ever seen in my life.
Kobe
Like,
Bryant.
you're just not using the product properly. This is going to affect our sales.
Kobe Bryson 666 from 3 weeks ago. I, Cody William Aquarius Bryson of Irving, Dallas County, Texas, USA, aka Aquarius William Gray, do not know which chicks are sexier, cop chicks or convict chicks.
Wait, and it's all in caps.
Parts of it, yes. Cop chicks or convict chicks. To Susan Marie, my psycho Virgo Holloway Bryson baby, my baby love. I just like the man is, he's saying he's an Aquarius, but sounds like a damn Gemini. He can't choose between the cop chicks and the fucking convict chicks. It's one or the other, my man.
Into Virgos too, apparently.
Absolutely. Is it? Are we going Mrs. Officer? Or are we going? Take the money and run. All right. Pick a lane.
This guy sounds like an astrology girly.
Yeah. I got two more here. Archduke Big Dog Koopa from 6 years ago.
Archduke Fuckface Koopa Bear.
He says, "This is the lyrics of a parody version of High Enough that I am making as, as a future song for Sonic Adventures 3, if possible, or..."
What? Sonic Adventures 3?
He's taking a shot. He's taking a shot.
Or for Sonic Forces 2, parentheses, also if possible.
Do you know how stoked he'd be if he knew that we were reading this on our podcast?
He'd be so happy.
He'd be so fucking stoked.
So this is again about the game Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, I was just gonna say I'm like, do Sega executives frequent this YouTube
Obviously,
channel?
yeah. They're like, hey, I need the newest parody song for Sonic the Hedgehog. So this is he wrote. It's a lot longer than that, but I cut the first part because it's fun. So the title of the parody version is not High Enough, but Higher Than the Earth. It says, "Every time I hear the mountain calling me, every time I hear the blue sky calling me, I see there's something out there waiting for me over the horizon. Can't stop pushing through this war. Now my blood's burning vividly like a fire in a barbecue lightened by pirates." Again, Sonic the Hedgehog.
You're supposed to say it like you're singing.
I know, but I
Lightened by pirates.
Yeah, I'll get to when the chorus happens. I will. "As all the illusions I see, they're about to strike me down like lightning. I keep running on, breaking the sound of speed, becoming one with the wind. Can you take me higher than the earth?" is what he says. Or to put it another way, can you take me higher than the earth? This has nothing to do with Sonic. You've done a terrible job. I haven't played Sonic since Sonic Adventures 1 in 1999, but I feel like I could do a better one.
None of the songs in Sonic were ever about Sonic.
They were just about
having a song in the background. You got to think about if a Japanese adult wrote those lyrics in Japanese, that might be something.
Oh, perhaps. And finally, Foxy Rockstar, 13 years ago, and I believe she's addressing Ted here. "Hey, Teddy."
Yeah, I want to fuck you, Teddy.
Hey,
one of these.
"Hey, Teddy, an entire country known as America pulled me over for a DUI."
The entire country pulled you over?
I'm going to remember that day.
Motherfucker.
When I was drunk driving.
The establishment of the United States government will not admit that they pulled me over for a DWI.
I like it's every citizen, all 400 million people. Just imagine like the Bonneville Salt Flats, a flat desert with one person. You'll never catch me, America.
You will rue the fucking day.
This is the largest citizen's arrest.
Yeah. It's like the military. It's like kids in the Fisher Price cars. It's just everybody coming down on this
She's
person.
plowed through 8 schools. It's like, it was just stop her.
I'm just picturing in The Simpsons, when they're mob of Springfield.
Yes, yeah. Pitchforks. It says the entire country known as America pulled me over for a DUI. That's the glory of the United States of America. I will never let that country go or let George W. Bush Jr. get away with it. Rock and roll! Don't let your party get too far away from you. The United States of America must be the greatest financial communism on planet Earth. This is a message from Rock Czar. Laugh! And that is Damn Yankees with their terrible song, our jam of the week.
I think that person's voting for RFK Jr.
100%. If they're alive, 100%.
Not if they live in New York.
I was gonna say he can't do it in New York.
Oh,
this person doesn't live in New York.
No, that's got Ohio written all over it. Michael Magid, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, they can find me at Michael Magid Comedy or at Michael Magid on all social medias. If you want to check out all the soccer stuff, you can go to at Goalkeeper Podcast or at The Union Goalkeeping on all social medias.
Carter, where can people find you online?
Carter_Glasscock on Instagram.
Hell yeah. Sam, where can people find you?
They can find me at Slam Harder on motherfucking Twitter, or they can find me at Sam Harder 666 on motherfucking Instagram.
Yeah.
I think on the fucking 22nd, I'm on a show at motherfucking Clubhouse at 8.
Ooh, nice.
I've motherfucking, and then there's some other show I'm on September 2nd. I don't know if I've been booked to do improv or stand-up, but I am on the show.
We're going to do one or the other. Hell
I'm going to
yeah.
show up prepared to kill it.
I mean, that's why you go to that. You don't know what he's going to do, folks.
Yeah, you don't know what
Absolutely.
I've been booked to do. Not even I do.
It could be cop chick. It could be convict chick. You don't know. He loves both equally. Which way will they choose for him to go?
America will rue the day.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. And if you want to come see me do stand up on August 22nd, Sam and I keep getting the same damn dates, but it's okay. I'm gonna be in Yucca Valley at the Tiny Pony. So desert people, come out of your shaded caves and come see me there.
Fucking Christ! How hot? Where is that? How hot is it going to
It's
be?
gonna be hotter than Palm Springs. I think it's
God
like
damn,
I think it's even
Rivers.
like closer to the sun. It's like
You
in
get
the
some bookings near the beach.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Buy a shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/thegoodspod. Get you a nice t-shirt and make you look skinny on TV. Best way to support the show. Well, hey, if you're watching this and you're not just listening, you're already doing it. But if you want to see this show, get tons of bonus content, head over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. That is the best way to support our program. Second best way to support our show, head to Apple Podcasts and now Spotify as well. I think they do written reviews. So rate, review, subscribe, because that shows the attitude of gratitude. And if you do not have the attitude of gratitude daddy, a parent will emerge from the bleachers and attempt to fight you. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.